in the reggae scene, I think guys are usually not as creepy. Maybe I don't know. But in that one particular show when Nikki and I met, it was only us. There was like nobody there. Like all the musicians were like playing music, you know, on stage, and no one was really back there. So it was just us and maybe like just couple of more other people. So we kind of like got to connect more intimately. And then we just became friends since.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Nikki, shout out to Nikki.
Shout out to Nikki.
Yeah. You looking for me, you can find me at the spot. Chopping it up with Jonah, we talking about what's hot on the block. Up in Dago, man, we bumping. Keeping it confidential, you know this how we coming, we in front. Looking for that real, better tune in and stick by. Put on for the city every time that I dip by. Getting to that gritty every time that we sit down. Promise you it's real every time that I get round. Come on. Been in the field playing, we work.
Welcome back, Barbershop Confidential, the podcast. Your boy Jonah. Got a special guest, Doah. How you doing, Doah? Is that your name or stage name?
That's my real name.
Like real government issued ID passport name.
Yep.
Doah. Does it have a meaning?
Yes, it's actually a Korean name, and it means to pursue beauty.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That sounds funny though, to pursue beauty.
Yeah.
Like stay away from uglies. Beauty only.
Right?
Yeah.
So like do means to pursue and means like beautiful beauty. So it's like.
So it's two words?
It's two words put together. Yeah.
So you're Korean?
Yes.
Nice. You're probably the first Korean
guest?
Yeah. I've had Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, and now Korean. I'm circling the Asian community.
First Korean and first Doah.
And the first Doah for sure. Which is close to Jonah, you know?
Yeah.
It rhymes. That's cool. So you've been a musician for a while now?
I think it's like going on 6-7 years now.
That's solid.
Yeah, I'm still doing it somehow. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder.
You think, is it like, are you reaching to do it full time and live off of it, or?
No, that's the goal, right? But sometimes, like when I'm like really understanding the music industry itself, and sometimes I don't know if that's possible. Like, I don't think I've ever like met a musician that don't have like a side thing going on. It's very rare.
Oh, like a musician that only focuses on music? Yeah. That's bold these days, huh?
Yeah. It's really tough.
I feel like you have to have some type of backing too.
For sure, you need investors.
For at least that, or a sugar mama or daddy.
Yeah, because music's really expensive. Like
studio time's
expensive. Content, like if you want to shoot a music video, like it's high. How high do you want to go? Pretty much your budget. You see like top pop stars spending
millions.
Yeah. So it's how big. It just never ends, you know? Like, so it's like, it's tough to make it out there as an indie artist, just because you are having to pay for every single little thing, like, especially for females, like all the clothes, the makeup, and, you know,
hairdresser,
hair, and you got to pay out your band, and you need to have a team, like, and, you know, for me, I've been doing it pretty much like everything on my own. So not sometimes, you know, I would hire like things out, like music video, of course, because I'm not a professional videographer or director, you know. So, but band related, like stuff like marketing, like creating flyers, booking shows, and writing music and working with the producers, all that stuff is all that kind of falls on me, you know. So it's like you don't. Lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's an expensive hobby, huh?
Exactly, and it's so sad that we have to say it like it's a hobby. It shouldn't be a hobby,
right?
But when there's no when there can be a lot of money going out and there's no money coming in,
or little money coming in,
or very little, that's, you know, pay barely like partial of your expenses, then yeah, it is an expensive hobby, you know?
Because even if you made money in the beginning, you're still in a hole. Like you're still in the negative because everything you've put in over all the years, you're like, yeah, okay, I got, let's say $5,000. You're like, but that doesn't even cover 1 year of everything I've put into this. And
those are facts.
Hobbies are expensive.
It's rough out there.
It's hard. That's why, you know what? I do take pride in like being able to do everything myself. Mm-hmm. One, I don't rely on anybody, so I don't have to wait for a videographer's schedule to open up, or how long you gonna take with the edit. Like everything's on my time. You know, everything. I don't have to outsource it. I can, you know, and I've been reading a lot, and I probably should stop trying to control everything. But
I checked out your stuff. Yeah. It's legit.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm glad that I'm learned how to do it myself, so I can know what it takes and all that. But it's not easy. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah, it takes a lot of patience.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
To get good at something, yeah.
It's a process. So I can only imagine as a musician.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You said that you had to pay out your band.
Yeah.
Do you go through bands, or is it like one band that you're like, hey, let's rock this ship together and hopefully something comes from it? Or do you like, I need a band this weekend?
It's a little bit of both. Okay. I had a solid band, but I don't want to get too deep into it, but the band kind of like, the rhythm section kind of dispersed, and so I had to kind of arrange or like recruit like band members, and it's not an easy task.
I was gonna say, because personalities.
Yeah.
And then each band member feels like they're the most important part to the band. So like an ego thing, like without my guitar, my drums, like this band ain't shit. So I can see how.
Well, luckily enough, like I feel like all the people that I got to, you know, play with, and none of them are like super ego driven. But you know, musicians can be that way, I'm sure. So we're all kind of like have that mentality of like, hey, we're in it for the music and we want this group to be successful. But I think the moment that I saw the band kind of shift is like I started working directly just with the producers to make songs.
Oh.
So not with the band to write songs, you know, because I don't know what it was. I just feel like, you know, me and my previous guitar player just didn't really like, we have amazing like stage thing going, but like writing wise was just not like, it didn't really come like natural or easy for me, my perspective. And I feel like using a producer to make music, make songs, it's going to really give you like that top quality stuff. And some of the things that maybe we're not even like that creative enough to like come up with or have the experience to come up with, like they can hone it and, you know, make the song like 100 times better, you know? So it's like paying for that. I thought it was worth it, you know? So I just started working with producers directly and making the song and bringing the song to the band. And I think that was like one of many things that kind of like the band kind of started maybe disconnecting a little bit.
Something like, why aren't you working with us? Why are you going to like a producer? Or
I think the band members understood why I did that, and it was greater good for the band.
Right.
But also like over time, I felt that it maybe have created less like personal experience for the band, you know?
Okay.
Because like they didn't get the involvement in the writing of the process of the music, you know? So it's like, okay, like, yeah, she's bringing good songs, but it's like we weren't part of the writing session or anything like that. So
no input, no.
Yeah, and I would have liked to have my band involved, but sometimes, you know, too many cooks in the kitchen gets really tricky, headache. And it's just, you know, I have that personality where like, even though I'm still like leader of the band and I'm the artist, but I have this bad thing that's like, I want to make everyone happy kind of shit, you know?
People pleasing.
Yeah, and I feel like I needed to just put that shit out the window a while back, but you know, it is what it is.
It's
and
a personality trait for sure.
Yeah. So it's like, so now I'm starting to form a little bit like more solid guys, the band guys around me now. After over like a year and a half going through like many players. And our music is like our music like is not that hard to play, but it covers like very like wide genre. So I think the last piece we're missing is just the drummer. So any drummers out there.
So right now you have like a filler, like somebody who comes in and just...
Yeah.
We just need you to play tonight. And
yeah, kind of. In a way, yeah.
Yeah. I hope you're not hurting nobody's feelings.
No. This already has been communicated and it's already been talked about. And
that's also the hard thing, how to communicate.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God. Like it's... So right now, I think... How many band members do I have? Like 6, 7? So... juggling all those personalities and, you know, everybody has different goals. Everybody has different, like, desires. And everybody, it's like having a relationship with every single one of them.
That's rough.
And, you know, I can barely have a relationship with myself. So, I'm doing my best. But sometimes I feel like I'm a human. I fuck up and I make mistakes, you know. So it's like... I try to learn from it and try to be aware of it, because a lot of times someone who's leading something, like, not everybody's going to tell you, like, hey, you're fucking up, you know?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, whatever, you know? Anyways, so.
Is it hard being, like, a woman leading a band?
Definitely.
Is it, like, a male-dominated?
Yes, it's definitely
industry?
It's really male dominated industry. I mean, even if you see like festival lineup, like you probably see like 10-20% that are women, you know?
Yeah.
So that are female artists. So it's definitely male dominated. And, you know, I struggled a lot in the beginning because I just didn't have that experience or like have the balls to like talk to men. And a lot of the booking agents are men. A lot of, you know, folks running the festivals involved in music are men. So it's like, and like all my band members, like a lot of my musicians that I play with, they're all men, you know? So I do sometimes feel like I have to speak louder. I have to, you know, be more pushy and fight harder, you know, to really get my name out there. And sometimes, but you know, there's this other side where like you're a girl, so maybe it is easier to talk to like a guy who's running the show, you know, and if you are decent looking, maybe that helps too, you know? So, I mean, so there's this other side that's like, maybe it is like a little bit easier, but it's kind of more temporary, I think.
But there's also the, I'll listen to you because you're pretty. But is it going in one ear and out the other?
What do you mean?
So like you were saying, like maybe it's easier to talk to like a man as a woman, and he'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll listen, but doesn't listen.
Yeah,
you know, they're just entertaining or just, you know, going along with like,
whatever,
not really paying attention to.
For sure. Because
they're just like, oh, you're just silly.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, I'm serious.
Yeah. And I feel like music industry can be very much like that. And it's like, it can be very like sexualized too for women, I think.
Right.
You know, you gotta be hot on stage. You know, you have that industry standard to at least look somewhat, you know, decent. Yeah. But I feel like reggae scene is a little bit more lenient, like a little bit more freedom. Like you're not gonna see like a girl who's like, you know, like the pop star looking like girls. Like they allowed a lot of like talented female artists that's might not be like 105 pounds, you know.
Right.
It's okay. Like, you know, they still accept your art and for who you are. So I'm blessed to be in that very accepting scene.
That's what's up. How'd you get into like the reggae scene? Were you like no offense, like a pothead or something? It was like that was like the old stereotype growing up. Like, oh, you listen to reggae or smoke weed.
So I don't smoke weed at all.
Like, have you?
I have.
Okay,
I smoked a little bit in high school, but I had the worst first time marijuana experience, which that really like fucked me up. Like where I was like throwing up and stuff. And that was like the first time I smoked was out of a bong, and it was kind of an accident. I was 14 years old. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was hanging out with older kids, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you want to try this?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." Like, and I threw up like 5 times in the shower, I think, and I like was not coherent. Like, I just had to put myself to sleep, and I woke up the next day, and I still felt pretty like weird. So ever since that first experience, I haven't been like crazy about marijuana, just because I'm like so traumatized by that experience. Yeah, so I mean, I think the reggae kind of came from I grew up in Hawaii. So I was born in South Korea. My family, we immigrated to Hawaii when I was 9. So like in Hawaii, there's a lot of music, but a lot of it is reggae music. And even like the touring musicians, like Bruno Mars will come there, and like the big artists will come there. But a lot of the traveling, like touring bands that came there are like the reggae, Jamaican, like reggae folks. So Hawaiian reggae was something that people in Hawaii loves, and that is something that I grew up on. So I think that kind of had a big influence on me growing up there. And that's kind of why, like, when I moved to San Diego, like, reggae was just something that I kind of fell into.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What part of, what island?
Oahu.
Wow. Yeah. I've only been to Kona.
Oh.
That was cool. Yeah.
When?
A while ago now, actually. 2016?
2016?
That was a while ago, yeah. That was pretty cool.
You can find some cheap tickets through Alaska when you like time it right.
Yeah, we've been meaning to go back, but we're like city folk.
City folk?
Yeah, we like going to like cities.
Oh, you should go to Oahu.
She wants to take me because she said it's like
you love it.
She compares it to like LA, but in Hawaii.
Yeah, I think you'll love it. And
I've been wanting to go back. I love it.
Totally. That should be fun.
Yeah, Hawaii's nice.
Yeah.
Hawaii. But also the whole thing about they don't really like tourists.
You don't even like tourists. You just claim yourself as Hawaiian. You pass.
It's funny you say that, but when we were coming back to to San Diego, and at the airport, the guy's like, "Oh, you're going on vacation?" And I was like, "No, I'm going home." He's like, "Oh, you're not from here?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm going home." He's like, "Oh, I thought you were from here."
You totally could pass from.
And back then I had like
Hawaii.
the long curly hair too. So for sure. Even
you'll fit right in.
We got a tattoo out there, and the guy was like, he said local discount.
Kama'aina.
And I was like, I didn't want to correct him. I was like, yeah, look it up. So
nice.
Cool, yeah, I like Hawaii. Hawaii's dope.
Yeah.
Hawaii is a vibe.
I
didn't know Hawaii had a reggae scene like that, but that's cool.
Oh yeah, the reggae scene.
Is it like a subgenre of reggae? Like, is it different than like Jamaican?
They call it Jawaiian.
Yeah. So it does have like its own little subcategory.
Yeah. But it's different from Jamaican reggae. I feel like it's got like a lot of like soul and like little R&B elements to it.
Oh.
And I don't know, it's like its own thing, like, and there's some really, really great musicians and great singers and songwriters out there. and it's like Hawaiian, like culturally, like music is just it's very rich in that art, history and the culture there. So you'll see, if you see live music, it should be legit.
Ah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. What made you move to San Diego then? Is 808 Hawaii area code? I thought it was LA for some reason.
Yeah. I need to get off the rock.
Off the island?
Off the rock.
You need to go to the mainland?
Yeah. Like I came and visited California when I was 18, and I fell in love with it. I don't know what it was. It was just a brand new city or what, you know, and I'm just...
What city was it?
I actually never came to San Diego then. I went to like Orange County, like San Clemente, and like I surfed like the pier, and then I went to LA and I explored LA a little bit, and I flew home. I actually went to Central Coast too, San Luis Obispo. So
I used to live there.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I love that area. Like if the water was a little bit warmer, I probably would.
There's a lot of sharks out there.
I know.
I'm a very, very healthy fear of sharks.
Yeah.
I do not like the ocean. Like,
oh, you're not an ocean guy?
When we went to Hawaii, we went to a reef. I was terrified. I was convinced there was great whites circling me the whole time. She's like, there's no sharks here. There's like kids and, you know, like it's a reef. So it's like, I guess protected or sharks don't go there. I was like, nah, there's sharks in here. I know it.
Was it Hanama Bay? No, it's Kona. It was Kona. That's Oahu. Yeah.
It was we rented a car and we were just driving along the coast, and I was like, oh, that looks nice. Maybe there's sea turtles, because she wanted to swim with sea turtles. Yeah. And there was sea turtles in there, but I was like, there's sharks in here. Sea turtles here? Sharks, for sure. Hands, for sure. Yeah, I'm terrified of sharks.
Well, I am too, but I grew up surfing my whole life. I've only seen shark once.
One time?
Yeah.
Close up or?
It was pretty close, but it was a reef tip shark. So it's like, these sharks don't bite humans. They just cruise around the reef. And
is it the big ones?
It's kind of big. Like, I don't know how big they get, but you can tell because they, on their fin, like when the fins come up, like you see like a black tip on it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they're just reef shark. They're pretty harmless, and it was like 10 feet away from me when I was... Yeah, I caught a wave and I was like paddling back out in the channel. And it's the place that I was surfing. It's kind of by like where the boats are, you know? So, and I was like paddling back out, and like I saw like the fin come up and go down, and it was like...
Did you have like a little bit of a...
Yeah, of course. But then I'm like, oh, well, you know, it's a black tip, like whatever. Hopefully. They're not going to do anything. And then I think I might have caught like 4 more waves and went in, but I didn't stay out too long. But
I would have moved that moment. Like I would have sent somebody to get my shit. I'm going to a different place where there's no sharks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can imagine. I was a little nervous, so I like didn't waste too much time out there, and I just kind of went in. But
did you know anybody who did get bit by like a tiger or a great white?
Oh my God, there's this girl. She's a pro surfer. Well, she used to be. Bethany Hamilton. Have you ever heard about her? Yeah. She got her arm.
Oh, her arm, yeah.
Bit off.
That's crazy.
I've seen her out at that same brig where I saw the shark. I seen her out there surfing with her arm cut off. She had no arm, but she was still shredding it. I was like, whoa.
I don't know. If she's there, I'm gone. I feel like her blood would like leak, and the shark's like, oh, I've had her before. Yeah,
no.
No, shark, I'm cool.
But she was, much respect to her. She was ripping it.
To keep going?
Oh, yeah. Like,
I mean, I understand. It's like that you're in their home.
Yeah.
They don't have like a social understanding of who we are and what we are. And yeah. I completely get that. But to have they
probably just think we're like seals or something.
Yeah, like, oh, what is this weird looking thing? Let me bite it. Yeah. Nah, straight. Cool off sharks.
But like she had an amazing career after that.
Yeah.
And she kept surfing, and it was pretty incredible to see her surfing with one arm.
It's pretty hard?
I mean,
is the paddling or like the balance?
I honestly don't know how she does it.
Oh.
Like,
you surf here?
Yes.
It's cold here, isn't it? The water?
I don't surf during the winter.
Oh.
I'm more of a summertime surfer.
Your time's coming up, yeah.
Yeah.
There's sharks out here too, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm more scared of here than Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the cold?
Because, yeah, and there's legit great whites here.
Yeah.
And
especially like Solana Beach area.
I've heard more about shark attacks here than Hawaii.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That's probably true because I recently just heard some dude got like bit. He was out there swimming. I was like, oh, you know.
Yeah, there's
when you break
always
in somebody's house, you get a chance at getting shot. So
yeah, I feel like there's way more incidents, shark attacks here than
especially
Hawaii.
by the seals in La Jolla and all that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and we wear wetsuits out here, so we even look like more like seals, you know?
Probably got a little chew to them, too.
Oh, my God, no.
But anyway, so you came to LA, and then how'd you end up in San Diego? Did somebody tell you, like, go south, it gets better?
So, funny story, I actually met a guy.
It's always a guy.
And this was when I was, like, my early 20s. Like, I was 19 or something. I was surfing Waikiki, and I met this guy. And,
in Hawaii?
Yeah, and there was, like, a big swell, and he was like, you know, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I was like, oh, like, this guy doesn't look
dreamy.
Yeah, that's my type.
Is it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it is. I mean, if you look at my history, yeah. Apparently.
You probably sit back like, wait a minute.
So I'm like, okay. Like, and he's kind of like out here by himself. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's go surfing or hang out. And we started talking, and then we became really good friends. And he was a firefighter here. Well, for Riverside, I think. LA Riverside. So I ended up like him introducing him to like my best friends in Hawaii and my roommates, and we all became like really, really good friends. And him came and visited us like once a year and would crash at our place, and he would invite us out to San Diego because he lived in Oceanside, and we would crash at his place. And so we just started being really good friends, and so I started becoming familiar with San Diego, more like North County area. And I also, when I worked at Round Table Pizza in Waikiki, random, right? But it was like a big sports bar, and that's where everybody went to go watch like UFC and all the sports and stuff. So there was girls like that I met who all went to University of Hawaii, and I did as well, and we all worked there. And these girls went to Carlsbad High, so I ended up becoming really good friends with a few other girls that went to Carlsbad High School. So we all kind of just mingling, and so next thing you know, I'm like, hey, I know San Diego, and I love San Diego. I want to move to San Diego after I'm done with college. So that's pretty much what happened.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What did your parents think of that?
You know, they didn't really have a choice.
I mean, yes. I don't know culturally how it is with like Korean. Mm-hmm. I can speak from like Mexican. Mm-hmm. How leaving the home is like a thing. Because they want you to stay forever and stuff like that. So.
Yes. And so in Korea, that's really normal, especially for girls. There's many, many families, and majority actually, females live at home until they get married.
Until they get married?
Yeah.
That's what's
like,
up.
It's starting to change. So a lot of people
Even in Korea?
Oh, in Korea. Like, that's the culture. Like, girls, like daughters, they have to stay living with the parents until they get married. Until
they say I do, then it's like, all right.
Yeah, then you can
grab
go.
a bag.
Yeah. But until then, like, it's very, like, it's a cultural thing that, especially daughters.
Oh, okay. Is there any, I don't want to say pressure, but kind of pressure or enforcing, like, stay within, like, get you a good Korean man, you know?
Oh, my God. So
I'm just curious.
Not anymore.
Okay.
But when I was in middle school, or I was in 7th grade or something, and my like parents had like this talk.
With you?
And and you know, Korean people can be very racist sometimes, and I don't agree with it. But I think it's just like cultural thing, and they're just kind of ignorant. And
yeah, I mean, I feel like every immigrant or like every culture is like,
yeah,
hey, keep it in house.
Yeah, and it doesn't help the fact that my parents like they don't speak that great of English either. So of course, like they want someone who they can like talk to, you know, but it's like that's selfish, you know. Like you brought me to America and you expected me to marry a Korean man, like that's not fair. Like how's that gonna happen? But like they literally sat me down and gave me the talk, and any Korean girls out there, I know you guys can relate, but like my parents literally said, okay, like if you're gonna date anyone, the first like our top preference is Korean American, and second is Japanese American, third is Chinese American, but they don't like Chinese that much, and fourth is white, and fifth black. No black guys. And I'm just like, damn. And I was like 13, you know, and I was so mad at my mom for like saying that, and I was just like, well, what if I fall in love with a black guy?
She's like, no. And
won't. She got really uncomfortable. Like, I remember, nervous, like, yeah, but she's not like that anymore. Like they're not like that at all anymore. Like I think they're pretty chill now. But you know, when I was like 13, that was the talk that they gave me, and we never talked about that again. That's
funny because I grew up in National City, which is pretty close to here, and where I grew up was like a lot of black kids, Mexicans, and Filipinos. And my mom would always say, you better not bring home a Filipino. Do not bring home a Filipina. And I was like,
how come?
I don't know. She's just like, do not. And I married a Japanese Mexican.
Oh.
So, but I was like, I wonder if it had anything to do with it, because after like when I was single, Asian women would like catch my attention first. So I wonder if if it's like a natural, you know, to go against the grain with her.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, but I thought it was funny that she would always be like, no Filipinas. Nothing else, just no Filipinos. And I was like,
well,
damn.
Is there like a cultural thing?
If anything, Filipinos are pretty close to being Mexican.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But then here's the thing, like Japanese, Chinese, they're all close to Koreans, but they all hate each other. So
yeah, well, it's like Mexicans and Hondurans, and you know, like we're from like the strip is close, but it's like nah, we don't, you know. So it's just I think every country has like its
thing.
Its thing, yeah. It's funny you say that they would choose Korean American and then Japanese. I thought Koreans hated like Japanese.
I don't know.
Like, was there a war? There was a war, right? Like, I don't know too much, but
yes.
All right.
It was gnarly, like what Japanese did to Koreans.
They had them
and
like
Chinese.
slaves, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Was it the nun? Oh my god! I think I seen a video once about it, but anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty bad though.
Oh, it was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
And there's still some like animosity towards with each other. Like, I feel like they're kind of cordial, but there's still like very like rivalry kind of thing. But,
and then there's the whole north and south. So.
Yeah.
Was your family from the north or south?
South.
Okay, all right. That's forgive my ignorance.
But you know, there is like family, like extended family from my grandma's side, my mom's mom. That when like the Korea split, they got separated and they ended up in North. And so after that happened, like all communication has been lost and ever since. So it's pretty sad.
All because of other people's problems, you know?
Yeah.
That's nasty work.
Yeah. It's crazy how polar opposite
the same country can be.
Yeah. It's really sad.
Yeah. Have you gone back?
To South Korea?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I have, but it was like about 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I am actually going back to Korea for a visit, like end of April.
Ooh.
I'm very excited.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
We solo or?
With me and my boyfriend.
Oh, that's what's up.
I'm taking my boyfriend with me. Get him cultured.
Okay, so he's white.
He's white.
Introduce him to some seasoning.
Yeah, right. Well, interesting enough, like my boyfriend's like dairy gluten free kind of guy, but he eats like meat and everything. He just has like really bad like reaction to gluten and dairy. So he's that legit like
unseasoned. I
can't eat gluten dairy kind of guy. He wants to eat it so bad, but he can't because then he'll break out and like
shit,
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, it's that bad. So we do eat a lot of Asian food because rice and like rice noodles and things like that don't have gluten.
Right.
But you go to Korea, there's so many like amazing food that are absolutely not gluten dairy free that I will be consuming. And then he'll be watching. Yeah. I already warned him. Oh yeah.
That's gonna be fun for him. You guys been together for a while now?
We've been together for like a year and a half.
Is he also in the music?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so he's got a band too, but
he has his own band.
Yeah.
Same genre? Genre?
They're more like jam band and indie rock.
Oh, okay, so it's different.
Yes, it's different, but he plays bass in my band.
Oh, okay. So he goes on both.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So you kind of see him a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
we live
cool.
together too, so.
Damn.
So we see each
also
other
work
a lot.
Together?
No. I mean, just the music part.
Yeah, not the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That'd be
I work from home and he goes out for work, so we get a separation time.
That's good. It's
during
needed.
the day.
I think it's needed personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to miss him. You want to come home and be like, I haven't seen you all day.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. If I had to go out of town or something for a weekend, or if he does, after we're apart, come back, something about that, it's just so much better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I believe in like personal space. And
yes.
Like my girl, she'll go to Dallas to see her family and it's like, enjoy.
Yeah.
I'll be here when you're back. So I don't know. I've always believed in like still being an individual while in a relationship. So
I think that's very healthy, for sure.
Cool. I was going to ask you, what'd your family think of him? Have they met him?
Yeah.
Oh, you took him to Hawaii?
Actually, my parents came here when we played the Mission Bay Fest this past September. So it was a big festival for us. So they came to support and watch us play. And that's when they all met, and his parents came down too. So they all met. And it's
one big family.
It's interesting because like my parents, their English is not very good. So it's like they mashed, I think, okay, but it's definitely hard with the language barrier.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a good thing. I don't know.
I have the same issue with like my wife doesn't speak too much Spanish. And my mom's English isn't, she'll forget. She'll like start rambling off in Spanish. I'm like, Mom, like.
So does your mom like your wife?
Yeah, she loves her.
Okay, that's good.
She loves her. Like,
yay.
A lot.
I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah. No, definitely. I don't think I don't know. That's a tricky one. I did date somebody she didn't like, and it didn't.
Oh. Didn't go well.
No. So, I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but it probably like sat in the back of my mind like, my mom don't even like you like that.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Facts.
That's tricky. That's a tricky one. Mm-hmm. I was talking about that with somebody else, like culture, because how do you explain certain things? Like, that's tough.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And, I was like kind of worried a little bit just because, I just didn't, I guess I was more worried that like my parents might feel uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
And they pulled it off pretty well.
That's what's up. What do they think about your music? Do they don't speak it, but do they understand it like well enough to like know what you're singing about? And
no, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't really asked them, but like they're very supportive of it. And cool. If I didn't have my day job, I don't know if they'll be supportive of it. 100%.
100%.
But yeah.
I don't think there's too many cultures that would be like, no, go ahead.
Yeah. Just be homeless. Just live out of your van and do your music. Yeah.
Be a struggling artist. That's fine. We're here for you. Nah. We gotta get a job.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I don't even want that, honestly.
That sounds horrible, to be honest. Because I've had other musicians on, and I'd say about 90% of them have a job. Like, it's not, they don't just live off the music.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's like their end goal, to be financially successful from music, but that's hard to, and I have people like reply to like if I post an episode with a musician, I have people be like, you better have a job, man. Like, you know, like you can't be this age still trying to make it, which actually kind of like, I ask all of them the same thing. Is there like a goal where you're like, okay, if I don't reach this, then kind of have to be realistic, and or is it you can always just write it off, like keep going as like, well, I got my job, this is just something I love.
Yeah, I think I will always like be involved in music at some point, but like when I'm like older and I don't have that like 100% like passion for performing, like I do think about like maybe getting into like artist management, because I've learned so much about like being an independent artist, you know? So I feel like I didn't have any guidance, like, and I had to learn so much from so many mistakes that I have made. So I think it would be really cool for me to like get into like artist management, artist coach, something like that type of realm, and getting involved in like the festival. But I haven't really tapped into that type of side of things monetarily, so I don't know how feasible that is for me to like live comfortably doing that full time, unless I was like managing someone like
a big artist.
But you know, it's like you never know. But I think it's always good to have like if you want to do music thing and art some type of art form, I think we have to have our hands in like all types of pots.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we just can't survive off of just, oh, I'm gonna go tour or like make a song and put it out. Like that's
not good. Yeah,
no,
it's not realistic for sure.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but you said you you write your own music. Mm-hmm. Did you ever start off as a cover band and then started like introducing like your own music? Like, hey, I wrote this, peep this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. I actually just started with just my own music.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I like if you're a cover band, you can actually make money.
Yeah, because people will hire you to be like, oh, you play Bob Marley, like.
Yeah, and it's kind of like wedding bands. You know, wedding bands can make pretty good money. You know, so I think like there is money in that. I think, but if you're playing your own songs, that you are being your own artist, that's where the struggle comes. Yeah, because like the real struggle
to pick it up, get it going, and get the listens, and get like some exec to listen to and be like, oh shit, I'll put you on a 360.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Yeah, you're right. I never thought about it. That's probably why a lot of people do start with cover bands, right?
Yeah,
just to finance their the dream.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, there's a lot of musicians out there that do both. They do their little restaurant gigs or like play cover band stuff that pays a little bit more, birthday parties and things like that, and they sprinkle in their own music and stuff. So I mean,
towards the end when everybody's drunk, like, this is original. The original, you guys won't know.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, you gotta just do what works for.
Yeah, right.
Everybody has such a. There's definitely like you feel that competition kind of type of feel, but also like when you really like peel back the layers, it's like it's music, it's art. Like everybody has such a different, unique path that it shouldn't even be compared. You know?
That's true.
Yeah. So
I think just everybody in life in general. Like, everybody has a different book.
Yeah.
Some pages look similar, but the chapter's not.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
That's the tough part. What's it like going up there and performing for people who don't know any of your music? And do you deal with any type of self-doubt, imposter syndrome going up there? Like, these people have no clue, and I gotta perform like those are my fans from day one.
This is really funny that you're asking me this question, because like in the beginning, I used to get really, really nervous, and I still get nervous. Right?
I get nervous. I'm sorry to interrupt. I get nervous walking out to grab my guests.
Really?
Yes, I still get like a little bit of like
the jitters.
How's this gonna go? Yeah.
That means you care.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're passionate about what you do, you know? But I definitely get imposter syndromes, and I'm really, really trying to break out of that because I feel like as a musician, you create your worth. Like, you have to put yourself out there, and you have to be vocal about what you're worth and what you deserve, because no one's going to do that for you. You know, so it's like, so I grew up like, you know, with a tiger mom. Like, my mom was she had anger issues, so I had a lot of trauma like in that. So like
most immigrant kids.
Yeah, so, you know, we grew up poor, like all that, you know, so I had a lot of like trauma and healing that I had to do, and I'm still doing. But, you know, the few of the things that like really, really stood out to me on this like musical journey during it is like, okay, like my self-love wasn't there, and the just no matter, even if I have these success and, you know, you get booked to play at this festival and you get these type of streams and you get whatever, you know, like the success that comes from all the hard work that I put into, I have a hard time, like, I think I have the most hard time, like, accepting that, you know, receiving love for myself, you know? Oh. So, like, it's funny because I just played this recent show that we just played at the Harp in Ocean Beach. I was a little tipsy. I had like maybe like one too many shots, maybe. But I was like, we haven't played in like 3 months. So I was literally like thirsty for like playing a show, you know? And I don't know what kind of just comes over me, but when I'm on stage, I'm like this like different like beast, different person, you know? I kind of go like
alter ego?
Like, I'm like 150%, and there's nothing like in between, you know? So after your show, you know, like there's videos that people send you or that get posted, and I'm not kidding you, like 90% of them, I just cringe.
Like, what?
Yeah, and even though like some people might think it's good, I personally just cringe. Like 95% of them, I'm always cringing. I'm just like, fuck, I sound like that last night. Jesus Christ. And then like the last show in particular, I kind of like went a little bit harder than usual. And I think the reason why like we are able to have this type of success as a band doing original songs is because of our stage presence, and
that's big.
Yeah, and the passion that we bring to the stage, and like our performance is like people can't help it but to like get like really sucked into it. So it's like more like experience than the music itself, you know. Right. So I think we nail it in that part. But then like also I have this like imposter syndrome where like, was I fucking too much?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know, so I have that too. Like, so it's like I'm always like
in your head,
fucked up, you know. So it's like a.
Are you a natural like overthinker?
I think so.
Right.
I think so.
It doesn't help. It just makes things a lot like 10 times worse.
Yeah, and it is difficult because like I get into my own like head so much, and I am my worst enemy.
Yeah.
And you know, no one's fucking thinking about you if you did too much fucking on stage at this show. Yeah, no one is the thing is no one is even thinking about you at the moment. You know what I mean? Like they're worried about their whatever they're doing like on a Monday, you know? And I'm over here scrolling like, fuck, was I too much? Did people like my performance? Like, well,
they literally post it and forget it.
Exactly.
And you're really like, oh my God, look at my left foot. What were you doing there?
That's me. That's me. That's like every show. I'm really trying to step out of that and not do that too much, but it's so hard to not be so critical of my own self.
Musician you and you, are they different people, or are you the same in both worlds?
I think, I don't know what my friends would say, but I think I am different.
Okay.
I'm a little bit more, like, I'm talkative now, but I can be just a little bit more laid back, more chill, and not as, like, crazy, but people want to think I'm crazy. But definitely, like, when I'm on stage, I go into, like, a whole different gear, so. And it's something that I don't know how it happens, but it kind of just happens. You just get into that show mode, and it's just kind of
like a switch.
It's like an unleashing of.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Do you write your music based off experiences, or is it just? I asked Nikki that actually because she writes
poetry.
Yeah.
And
I was like, is it from like here, or is it just like you saw a story, you're like, oh, that could be a cool song?
A little bit of both now.
Okay.
Because I like to share my own experience, but I also like to, write about things that might be going on in the world, or like other people might be, other people might be going through, and so it's kind of a little bit of both, I think.
In reggae, I know it's its own genre.
Yeah.
But is there, you know how like, I'm gonna use rap as an example. There's like rap, and then there's like love rap.
Yeah.
Is there that in reggae too, where it's like you're talking about like comparing it to rap like liquor and jewelry, but then there's like love songs. Is it like that in reggae too? I'm an old school reggae listener, so I'm listening to like Barrington Levy or Bob Marley. So those usually kind of fall into like a certain topic. Oh
my God, I gotta tell you about Barrington Levy.
You met him?
Yes. I met him a few times, but the first time I met him, and Barrington Levy was like the guy that would come to Hawaii and perform.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I grew up watching him. And I met him at Kelly Vibes 2 years ago. And I was in the back in his RV or whatever, in his green room, you call it. And I have a friend who owns C Less Clothing, by the way. Shout out to C Less. He was like, because I told him about Barrington Levy. I'm like, oh yeah, I grew up watching him, and he's freaking amazing. And I like ended up singing for him like on the spot.
Oh, that's fire!
But I was so embarrassed. I was just like, wow.
Like one of your songs, or just
no? I think I just sang like "Get Up, Stand Up" by Bob Marley. I think
he's like, really?
Yeah, I should have sang his songs. No, I can't reenact his songs. No way. But it was like a magical moment for me. But anyways, what were we talking about?
Oh, like is there like love songs in reggae?
So yes, there's definitely like Jawaiian. They sing about a lot about love.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, a lot of love songs. But there's so many like subgenre and American reggae. I don't know if that's even like a legitimate like word for it, but shout out to Mikey Beats. I think Mikey Beats came up with that. But American reggae, and there's like white boy reggae, and there's like Kelly reggae, and there's all type of
I didn't know that.
Yeah, subgenres coming, like being born like in this scene.
Is there any hate from like truest reggae fans? Like purist reggae fans that are like, what are you doing? Like there's some type of culture appropriation here.
I'm sure.
Oh, but you don't hear it, so it's like
I don't know. It's really interesting because
it just seems like most genres have that. Like rap is, like African American. So when somebody like, it's hard for them to break in because it's like, yo, this is our thing. Like, and there is people who do. There's the exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, it's like, hey, yo, man, go do your own thing. Like go do what your culture does. And so
I guess if you want to do it, you better do it right.
Yeah, with respect and all that. But there's gonna be the people who are purists and like, nah, this is our shit. Like, what are you doing? Like,
oh, definitely. There's like the really like hardcore like roots reggae.
Yeah.
Those fans, and I think that's probably maybe the haters came up with the white boy reggae term. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure. Like, I think.
I feel like if you grew like Rastas, they'd be like, oh my God, she went all the way.
Like, if I had dreads.
Yeah, if you had dreads and stuff.
I would never do that.
Because of the hair care or?
I mean, like all of it.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Right.
That's not who I am. I'm not, like, I think it's wrong. Like, for me, it's, everybody's different, Like, I know white ladies that have dreads. And no disrespect in any way. But for me, personally, I wouldn't be okay with that. Just because, like, I'm not trying to be Rastafarian. And there's so much, like, symbolism and, like,
meaning
behind why they do that. So
that's what I'm like. I guess that's what I was trying to say. Like, there's people who are in deep in that, and then they see you performing like reggae, and
so
do they feel any type of way because?
Well, the thing is like our music is not roots reggae, and I don't claim ourselves to be a reggae band. Actually,
oh okay,
yeah, we are just kind of like in this reggae scene, but I don't claim my band to be a reggae band. We call it island grunge.
Okay.
Because we have like heavy like rock influence too. So our songs, like there's few songs like that's reggae, but there's also like a song called Hey Boy, and it's like just like pop rock. And yeah, and then but a lot of the reggae songs that we do have, it's all reggae rock. So there's like a section that goes like pretty heavy rock. And so there's like Pink Floyd, like that type of like classic like 70s rock element to it too. So we kind of is just more like a genre bending. So we kind of call that like, we create this term called island grunge because I was like forever trying to figure out like, what are we? Because, we get asked a lot like, oh, what's the genre? Like, and I had a hard time just claiming like, oh, it's reggae, because it's not, it's a little bit of, it's got the reggae element to it, but I wouldn't like,
it's influence.
I wouldn't claim to be like, oh, we're a reggae band, because I have this new songs coming out that's in the works right now. One's like a straight like K-pop song.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like K-pop meets like kind of Gwen Stefani in her like when she like went off
to do her own thing.
To her own thing. So it kind of has that.
She kind of went to like a little bit of hip hoppy on like or pop, more pop.
Yeah, like like the Harajuku girls, like she had that like Asian influence, like in that, and she went like straight like kind of more mainstream pop. So I have that song coming out, K-pop song kind of, and I have another one that's like gospel kind of.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So
is there a Christian reggae band?
Christian reggae band? I don't know.
There's always like Christian rap, Christian R&B. So that's crazy. I wonder. About that. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder that. I should look that up. But but like today when I was like kind of doing some research and prepping for my Korea trip, I was kind of just curious because like the indie rock scene actually is blowing up in South Korea, in like people in their like 20s and like late teens. They have like really great like indie rock bands that are like blowing up in that scene. So I wanted to kind of research like if there's any reggae music, and then I came across this band. They're like Soul Sauce or something, but they mix. They have this like award-winning like singer, and she's a pansori singer. So pansori is like this traditional, like very old style of traditional way of singing in Korea, and a lot of it is like, it kind of reminds me of when first, I don't know if you ever heard of this opera called Porgy and Bess, and it was like happened in the 30s, and it was like the first Black American like opera ever.
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, so it's basically pansori is like a way to tell a story or way to rebel through singing. So it's like rebel music pretty much, but very traditional old Korean way of doing it. So I was looking that up, and there's this like band that's like have this singer singing in this pansori style and playing that roots reggae music behind her, and it sounds incredible. And it's got this like pansori has this like crazy like soul like chant kind of type of vibe to it. So it's just, I think reggae is just like everywhere now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And it's more about the message, you know, like,
right.
Yeah. And I think it's very prevalent, and like every culture has something very similar that can be connected to reggae, especially if that country went through a lot and like have story to tell. And, you know, we use it, like people use music as a form of like protest, form of like speaking the truth, you know, that type of stuff. So
that's
respect.
Are you fluent in Korean?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So in the K-pop song, I sing in Korean.
Oh.
Not all of it, but just like a one hook that is in Korean. So.
Do you get mad when you get mad? Do you pop off like in Korean? Like whenever I get mad, I'm just like spitting out all the Mexican, you know, like Spanish cuss words and shit. Like, do you do that too? No.
No, I don't. I feel like I'm more American than Korean now.
Oh, okay.
And my English is a lot better than my Korean, but I'm pretty fluent in Korean. But you know, if I'm talking with my dad, sometimes I don't understand every single word that he says, you know, just because some of them are like above my
vocabulary,
elementary school, you know, and on. But conversational, I have zero problem. Like,
you can keep a convo.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
What are and forgive my ignorance, but what is the thing that Koreans are known for in America?
Kimchi. Yeah, the food.
The food.
Yeah.
And Korean barbecue.
Yeah, and then.
But I don't want to like narrow them down to, you know what I mean, like.
And I'm sure like K-pop is a big thing, and K-drama, like.
Oh man.
Korean movies are going off right now.
My wife
loves it. It's that Japanese side of her.
Dude.
She can't get enough.
She has like this app that I pay for monthly for her to watch movies. Mm-hmm. And she's a reader. Like, she reads fast. So she's just like sitting there reading stuff. She could be next to me and I'm watching the TV loud as hell, but she's just like reading because it's obviously, you know, subtitled.
Yeah.
But she says that the drama is better than like American movies.
It really is. I don't know what it is, but they just know how to make you want more. You can like literally binge watch like a.
Oh, for sure.
Like I mean, Squid Game.
That's Korean?
That's Korean.
Oh
my God. You didn't know? Jonah.
I'm sorry. I saw it in English. No, I'm like.
Yeah, Squid Game is totally Korean.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, and there's a movie. I don't know when it came out, but it was pretty recent. It's called Parasite, and it was the first.
Oh yeah, I saw
international like Korean like
nominated, right?
To won like Best Picture for the Grammys.
I saw it on Hulu. I didn't see it, but I saw that it was on Hulu. Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's pretty it's great.
I think we saw one. I'm pretty sure it was Korean, but it was about zombies.
Train to Busan.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, that movie.
That was good.
That was so good.
Obviously, we watched it with like the overlap of like English. But you could tell, like, this is probably fire in
actually Korean. Yeah.
Like, if I was
it's not the same when you know you have to hear the overdub because you know it's not their voice. You know,
and like the translation is probably ass.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie though. Like,
yes.
Me and my girl watched it. I was like, damn, it's pretty good. Like,
entertainment in Korea is like blowing up in the US, and like I see so many like Korean. You ever heard of Blackpink?
No.
It's like this big K-pop girl group that just went like viral internationally. They broke up, and like I think there was 4 of them, but 3 of them are kind of doing their own independent thing. So have you ever heard that song called that annoying song probably, like apatu apatu apatu.
Yeah.
That's Bruno and one of the members from
that K-pop.
Yeah, the Blackpink group.
Oh.
So they're like they're blowing up in America. So it's like,
that's so interesting how K-pop like popped off like that.
Yeah.
That is good. And it's funny, why do they wear like similar type outfits? You know,
like what kind?
Like anime.
Oh, it's called Y2K clothing style, probably.
Y2K?
Y2K, yeah.
Based off like the year 2000?
Yeah. I don't know why they call it that.
I was there.
Yeah, but they have like the, like the socks and the, like.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I guess it's just a thing.
Whatever. I mean,
yeah, I mean, like in Korea, like the whole like they call K-pop like K-idols or whatever. They call them idols, and these people get scouted when they're like 16.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and they have like, I don't want to say like a concentration camp, but they literally will get recruited at age 16 and devote their lives into becoming a K-pop star.
Oh shit. Like a fucking factory of K-pop?
Yes. Legit. No, I'm not even kidding you. And they have a standard of like how much you should weigh. Like they teach you all this pop vocal techniques. So they make you sound like, they do all these vocal trainings to have that very like particular K-pop vocal sound. And they do dance training. And when you're in this program, you're not allowed to see any of your friends or your family. Yeah.
Like a boot camp.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's insane. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of pressure for like young people.
But they want that, So it's like... Yeah.
Or the parents want that.
Probably.
Send them... What's like a common... like here you... Like in Mexican, like a Spanish typical name is Jose. Is there like a common Korean name?
I don't know. I can't say. Doah is definitely not common in Korea, though. Doah. Yeah.
I think that's like unique in general.
I hope so. But yeah.
Like, you're going to go out there and they're like, Doah? My cousin.
I know, right? I'll report back. Actually, I don't know.
Like, oh, you have the most common name.
Well, that's what I've been told, so I'll just go with it. But I don't know, like, if there's any, like, last names, yes. Like Kim, Lee, Park.
Those are just common.
Those are all very common last names. So there's a lot of common last names. So it's kind of like Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Johnson or whatever.
Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, it's like that. But names, I don't know. I'm sure there are. I'm probably just ignorant about it. I don't know.
Would you ever do like K-pop? I mean K-pop, K-drama? Like, would you become an actor? Like, are you in entertainment in general, or is it just like specifically only music?
I would love. That's one thing that I was actually talking about. There's a lot of Asian American like actors right now, and I feel like after the whole Black Lives Matter and all that shift that happened, I think it was mandatory for Hollywood to start casting members that are outside of just Caucasians, right. So I do. It's so funny that you asked that because I really think about it a lot. Bro. And I was like thinking about maybe doing like an open mic for stand-up comedy.
Hey.
I don't know how funny I am, but
I mean,
I probably should take some classes.
I was gonna say, because you know how like Crazy Rich Asians, that movie, like here it blew up, but like in like Asian Gods, that's like a huge movie.
Yeah, so I think like,
and you have a little bit of like Lucy Liu. Like a Lucy Liu look to you.
Thank you. She's hot, so thank you. She's very pretty, so
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you look like, I see it. Like
you see it.
Yeah.
I better go for it then.
Yes. This question thing, like, it just popped right now, so
So I have plan B, right? If my music doesn't pop off, then
you could be a successful actress.
Yes. An actress, you can be like, there's no age limit to it. Right. You can play like grandma. When I'm 70. I'll be like old Asian grandmother.
With no cracks, because, you know, Asians don't crack at all.
Asians don't raisin.
Yes, that's what it was.
But, you know, literally overnight, we just shriveled and died.
It's like her skin was so smooth.
Yeah, and then like next thing you know, like she shriveled up.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's what I hear it happens.
Because you've been here most of your life, is there what religion is tied to Koreans?
So Koreans, actually, if you go to Korea, Christianity is huge. And you would think that like Buddhism might be like, but it's not. Actually, Christianity actually is one of the biggest like religion in Korea, I think.
No way.
Yeah.
I would have never in a million years. Because I'm over here thinking like, let's say one day you and your boyfriend get married. And it's like, how we doing this?
Yeah.
But never mind.
So my boyfriend actually grew up Catholic. So his parents still goes to Catholic church. Like my parents never went to church. I guess I was
kind of like whatever. I'll rock with whatever.
Yeah. I do believe in God. I do. There's someone higher above watching out for all of us. I'm like to think that I'm more spiritual. And I know people throw around that word a lot, but I definitely like have experienced, I think, God in my life ever since I was a child. So like my mom was very like physically abusive.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I can talk about it now because, you know, I've done a lot of like healing and work. But I went to church growing up because that was like the only place that I was able to go that gave me peace. Oh. You know, and that was like a church like my mom allowed me to go, you know, and I had friends at school and elementary school like that went to church and, you know, invited me to church, and, you know, my mom trusts that they're good people. So like I got to go to church, and as a kid, I just wanted to find whatever excuse to get out of the toxic home, you know? So I ended up, you know, going to church every Sunday, and that's when I got like, you know, I sang in the choir there, and I was involved in all the like Christmas shows and all that stuff. So for me, that was like a sign that God is real, and I believe that like God really protected me from like and helped me rise above all that like abuse. And, you know, as a little kid, for someone to be like that abused by someone that you trust, it really can fuck with you, and like it can like easily make you go in the wrong way. Oh yeah. You know, so I think, and you know, like when something terrible will happen at home, like I'll just go in my room and I'll just pray. And I'll just pray to God. I'll just pray, like, I don't know if it's real, but you know, I go to church and I feel safe there. So I just like literally prayed. Yeah. And I really truly believe that like that prayer was something that I needed. Like it was the only thing I had, you know? My dad was not there for me. My brother was not there for me. Like it was just me and God. That was it. So I look back on that and I can't help it but to know that like God is real.
That's what's up.
And like it's like that spiritual connection for me that I have with God. And you know, everybody has different religion, different beliefs, but they all believe in the one God, I think. Right. Everybody just believes in like different interpretation of God.
Damn, I've said that before. Huh? I've said that what if we all believe in the same God, we just have different names from?
I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy you said that.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like, hey, whatever floats your boat and whatever you think it works for you and however you want to believe and worship. Like, and the biggest thing is the teaching of God is just be a good person. Like, don't lie, don't steal, don't do shitty shit. Like, don't hurt people. Don't do anything malicious. Like, you know,
But
just take care of each
other.
Yes, of course.
We fuck up.
And that's how we learn. Like,
Players fuck up sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
growing up in Hawaii, did you have was there like a strong like Korean community, or were you like the token Asian friend at school or something? I feel like there's a lot of Asians in
there's tons of Japanese, and then there's like really big Japanese community, and I think the next runner up is Korean. So they have Korean market, like they have. So I mean, like my parents only spoke Korean and Japanese, and they got through living in Hawaii okay, you know. So there's a pretty solid community of Koreans in Hawaii.
That's dope.
Believe it or not, yeah.
Hey, I was just wondering because.
But you know, when I was growing up, I grew up kind of in the rough neighborhood, like
the hood.
Yeah, the hood, like elementary, middle school, and like when I first came to Hawaii, I spoke zero English. So I was going to school and I was in 5th grade. I spoke no English whatsoever, and I was there in like American school, and I think there was one guy who was Korean and could speak like okay Korean, but not like very good. So I had to figure it out, you know. And then I went to middle school, and there was like few more Korean people, but like I got bullied by these Korean girls.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And then I got bullied like by like
the whites.
No, the local girls, like the Hawaiian girls too. So it's a very interesting thing, and I think like for me, like when I was getting bullied in middle school, I was hanging out with Micronesians because they were like the only like friends that like would like even like talk to me for like a little bit of period. So I actually like ended up like moving school just because it was just bad.
Damn,
you know?
like that.
Yeah. So like there was a cemetery next to my school, and if any of you listening out there is from Oahu, I went to Stevenson Middle School. But it was like kind of fucked up. Like I met this girl that just moved to Hawaii from Korea, and I met her at a Korean church because I went to a Korean church there. And she was kind of a fucked up person. I found out she was gonna go to my school, so I introduced her to all my friends who was Koreans, and she started spreading rumors about me.
Damn.
And then those girls turned on me, and then so I got like
outcasted you?
Yeah, outcasted me. So I was hanging out with all the Micronesians for a while, and I love my Micronesian friends. They were really sweet and they were amazing people. And like one day I was just minding my own business because, you know, I didn't really have too many friends. Like that Korean girl who like was spreading all the rumors, like, and she could barely speak English back then, you know? And she like called me out, like, oh, after school, like you and me at the cemetery.
At the cemetery.
And I was just like
I'm a body bag you.
I was like, oh my God, like, is this really fucking happening right now? And then, so like the last bell rings, right? And I'm like, what is gonna happen? And remind you, the school is in a hood area. So there's a lot of like fights already, you know? So by the time the last bell rang, like the whole school knew about the fight. So I think I was leaving my class. I wanted to try to like bail out, you know? But there was kids like swarming me, making sure that I get to the cemetery.
He pretty much walked you over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like no lie. It's like literally, cemetery is literally right next door. So I get pretty much escorted to cemetery by these group of like people and there's no escaping. And we have this pathetic little fight. Like, it wasn't even like a legit fight. It was so stupid. Like, we like pushed each other a couple times or something. And I think I grabbed her by like her like collar, like shirt. And I kind of like threw her on the ground. Oops, sorry. No, threw her on the ground, and then she fell. And I think I kind of like threw a couple punches, you know, but,
was like, ooh.
But I was like 100 pounds. Like, I was 13 years old. I was like 105 pounds or something. I was little, you know. I like threw a couple punches, and then like, but the whole fucking school was there watching. So you're like pressured into fighting, you know. And I'm just like, okay, well, that was kind of a lukewarm fight, whatever. And I kind of like got up, and then like she couldn't get up.
Oh, shit.
So I hear like a siren. Like, I don't know if it was the police or ambulance or something. So I fucking start running home, you know? I run home, and I was like, and my house is not too far either from the cemetery. It was just kind of like down the street. And I lived in this like apartment. I could hear just fucking ambulance going off, and I was scared to fucking death.
Thought you killed her or some shit.
Yeah, and then like she ended up like coming to school the next day with a cast on. That was like literally, I don't know if it was like really that bad, but I guess doctors would.
Nah, they be exaggerating.
I
dislocated my ankle, and they put a cast all the way up to my thigh. I was like, I had to cut it, dude. I couldn't move.
That's what happened.
They be bugging.
She came to school. I think she didn't come to school for a while, but like when she did come back to school, she had a cast toe all the way to her thigh.
Yeah.
And she couldn't walk. Like, she had clutches, and like she barely could like, and her mom worked at some like hostess bar, and she didn't have insurance for her.
Fuck.
So her mom like, and her boyfriend like sued us.
Oh shit.
For the medical bill. And it was, and we had to go to court like multiple times, and I had to like find a witness.
And she started it?
Yeah, and all this stuff, and like we had to hire a lawyer.
Fuck.
And I got like beat the shit out of.
At home?
Oh yeah.
Of course. My
parents were pissed, and I remember now what happened was she was talking shit about my dad and my mom. Like, she was spreading all this like bad like things, like just rotten stuff about my family, and I was like standing up to her about it. I think that's how like the whole like fight in the cemetery happened. Now I remember. So I was like telling my parents that, and like they didn't give a fuck, you know. They I was like,
I'm defending your honor. They're like, nah.
Yeah, I got in so much fucking trouble, and it was like awful, and I had to. They were gonna expel me.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I ended up just not going to 8th grade and just going to a different school, and I moved into my aunt's house, who lived like on the other side of the island.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was pretty.
You were a troublemaker in the eyes of a lot of people.
Yes, but I was pretty nice person. Like, I was never like that person like, oh, like malicious and I'm gonna start a fight. I was not like that at all, you know? And I just think I got misunderstood a lot because of it. And so after that happened, all the girls wanted to fight me. Like,
they saw you beat a girl's ass, and they were like, I want a piece of that.
Yeah, they're like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so like these bitches were coming after me, like trying to, and like they weren't even Korean girls. Like, they were like some random like local Hawaiian girls. They're trying to come at me and trying to like start fights with me and like stuff, because like, oh, she beat that girl up and broke her leg, and let's fight her and show her like who can beat her and blah blah blah. Like,
damn.
Yeah, so I was getting trolled pretty hard after that happened. So I couldn't even I can't even imagine going to 8th grade after that. So yeah, that's
a rough childhood.
It is. It's so rough. I'm like, trouble just followed me everywhere, I swear.
To this day?
No.
Oh, you don't have no more drama and stuff like that?
No.
That's what's up.
I have a really good group of like girlfriends now.
Ah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Because that could like traumatize you to not want to be close to the girls or...
Yeah, and I was traumatized for a while, like for a long time, and I didn't trust girls, you know? And later I found out that like girls hated me because like I was like the only Asian with boobs. And I was like little, you know? I was tiny and I had boobs. But I was so insecure. I didn't even think about like any boys liking me at all. That was not like, I was so insecure that wasn't even going through my head, you know? But like after like I left the school, like I don't know who, somebody told me, but it was because like I guess like a couple of the popular boys liked me or something, but I had no clue. Like I was not even there. Like I was such an insecure little girl. Like I thought I was the ugliest thing ever. Like, you know how fucked up you are, like from your mom beating the fuck out of you, you're getting bullied, like you're fucked, you know? When I heard that, I was like, that's a fucking lie. Like, but I don't know if that's true or not, but
did you ever, you know, there's a lot of kink, or not kinks, but people have like types or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of like a kinky.
Yeah.
Off a kink. Have you ever questioned like somebody like, do you like me, or am I just like this like fantasy, like Asian fantasy?
I don't know. I never really thought about that.
That's good though, because you're not.
And you know, like sometimes I feel like I don't really get that like from performing now either. Or maybe I just don't notice it because I don't know, when you like look at music and like bands and stuff, like there's a lot of girls like throwing themselves at men.
Right.
You know, at concerts and shit.
And no dudes throwing their drawers at you? Like,
no.
I want to have your babies.
No. No, but it's like for female artists, I think it's a little bit different.
That's kind of...
It's more like guys are not going to be like all over like, oh my God, I love you. You know, like they're going to be more like discreet about it, I think. Because they're a little bit more like, they're like, oh, I'm not going to be that guy. Like, you know? That's
funny, huh? You don't have the same type of groupies.
No, definitely
where
not.
Guys have like the girls are like literally throwing their panties at them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but I have had, you know, I have had seen some boobies in my performing days. Like girls would flash me.
Have you given off like I rock with that, or
maybe I think it's like people are drawn to the confidence.
There's girls flashing you up on stage and shit. That's what's up.
Yeah. And it's funny because none of my band members saw it, only I saw it.
Because they're over here paying attention to their instrument.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a couple of times that happen, you know, and then there's girls like try to make out with me.
Damn. Girls are bold, huh?
Yeah. And I think it's like that, like, I don't know. It's like maybe like my passion or like my confidence on stage.
Something
maybe
about
the
musicians,
energy.
Huh? Yeah, I always notice that, like, damn, just because they perform like music.
Yeah.
It's like this, like some people have like this little thing in their head, like, oh, that like up their sexy.
But I am not going to lie. I am definitely more flattered when girls are more like into me than dudes. Just because like dudes, I don't know, you're probably like.
With everybody.
Creep. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm just... But if you're being like, I don't know. But like if it's a girl, like, and if you are like a female, another female admiring you like that, it's a very like, oh, like that's so sweet.
You think I'm really pretty. You're not just horny.
Like, yeah. And it's more genuine, you know, like, but guys.
Damn, we got a horrible rap.
I mean, not all guys.
No,
but,
I know,
you know,
but
it's
for sure.
I mean, I guess it's the way you approach makes it different. I don't know. I still haven't figured that out yet.
Well, that's kind of a good thing, kind of for like your boyfriend. He doesn't have to worry about groupies because it's not really like a thing.
Yeah.
Or like if he was the main singer, is that what like the main? What is the head?
He's.
What do they call it? The main person that sings? Just head singer.
Lead singer.
Lead singer. Yeah. Or they get groupies, and you got to be like,
Oh.
I'm at every show, bro.
So I don't go to all his shows. I'm not going to lie. But I did go to one, and this girl, they're like a rock band, and they're like him and like his lead singer, because he's not the lead singer, he's a bass player, but him and his lead singer took his shirt off like when they were playing, because it was like the thing that they did or whatever, which is fine. This girl that was like in front of the stage, front row, and I was kind of on this. I was like in the front, but kind of on this off to the side, you know,
giving him space respectfully.
Yeah, and this fucking bitch.
Damn, why she gotta be all that though? She didn't know he was taken.
So I just let it. I just watched it go down. Like I didn't say anything like the first time, but she like flashed the band. And she had like the fucking most itty bitty fucking titties ever. That's so pathetic. I mean, no offense. Sorry, girl. But you can tell she was hella wasted, like beyond wasted. So I'm like, you know what? Like, whatever. Like, I'm not going to get upset about that. That it's going to happen. And it happened to me. Like, whatever. But it kept happening. She would like leave, come back, do it again. And like come back and do it. And like, I think like the third time, I literally went up to her and I was like, hey, just so you know, like, that's my boyfriend. Because I think, like, he kind of, like, did it towards him one time or something. Okay. And she got, like, all, like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Leaves. And I don't see her for a little bit. But she comes back and does it again. And at that point, I'm just like, this bitch is drunk. Yeah. I kind of just was like, whatever.
You should have been like, you didn't hear about my middle school interaction? Like, you sure you want to say?
Oh, my God. Like, I was more annoyed. Like, I wasn't, like, mad because it's not his fault. Like,
right.
You know, like, so I can't, like, I'm not mad at him at all. You know, it was just like that bitch was acting like a little skank, you know?
I ask this all the time. Was she cute?
All I can remember was that she was just like a normal white girl.
Oh, gotcha.
She wasn't like, I don't think like a fucking hot girl is gonna be like fucking flashing.
You don't think so? That's probably true.
Because, you know, I think like hot girls are a little bit more like, get me backstage. You wish.
Oh, yeah.
Or like, you wish, you know, kind of thing.
Get me backstage is crazy.
All right, something like that.
Some girls do crazy shit for backstage, though. I did security at a Willie Nelson concert. You know who Willie Nelson is?
Of course I know Willie Nelson.
I didn't know who he was. It was him and Dwight Yoakam. Again.
So were you shocked?
No,
because these guys are like old.
I just didn't know who they were. Like, I was just working security. It was a job. Up in San Luis Obispo, actually. Oh. And this girl came up to me. She's like, what time does Dwight go up? And I was like, I don't know. Is he an opener? She was so offended I said that. She was offended I insulted her idol or whatever. But anyways, later on, these girls were like, "Whoa, we'll suck you guys' dick to let us backstage." Me and this other guy were working the gate that goes to the backstage.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're tripping. Look, she looked young." And then the guy was like, I was like, "Bro, she looks young, bro. You sure you want her like risk that?" And he was like, "If she wants to." I was like, "I don't want nothing to do with that." But she was ready to like.
Oh, you're a good guy.
I was like, "Well, this is weird, bro."
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was tripped out. I was like, "Nah, this is."
Wow.
I was like, that feels like a setup, bro. I'm straight off that. Nah, I'm cool, but I don't know if he did because they moved me somewhere else.
Yeah.
But some girls be doing some crazy shit just to get backstage.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, so I can imagine that.
You ever heard of this guy called Nako?
No.
I think he got in trouble for that.
For like a security guard?
No, he's an artist.
Oh, for hooking up with like a younger. That's nuts.
16-year-olds or
16.
Like underage girls.
Is he popular?
He was.
He was, huh?
He got kind of canceled.
Yeah, I bet. Probably in jail.
Yeah.
You know, all kinds of burritos shoved up his ass.
Yeah, so I think he went dormant for a while and he's trying to make a comeback, but I don't know how that's going.
You gotta control your horny fellas. That's crazy work.
Yeah, but I mean, like, honestly, like, I read, like, this whole social media, like, comments and all this, people have so many different opinions about it. But here's the thing, like, it's like 16-year-old girls are going to throw themselves at you. But if you are an adult, you say no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's no way around that. Like,
especially
don't, I'm sure. Like, if you had these girls, like, oh, suck your dick, and it was questionable, and you're like, no.
Right.
That was the right judgment that you had to, call that you had to make, right? But then, obviously, he chose not to.
I just you want to hear? Are you like tea? Are you into that?
Yeah.
Oh, I just had an old guest told me that her baby daddy is a registered offender because he hooked up with a 16-year-old when he was 20.
Oh my God.
Yo, that's nuts. What would you want with a 16-year-old? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, no matter how horny you are, you still have to protect yourself. I mean, come on.
Bro, shit.
Why would you even want to go there?
Yeah, like
they don't know anything. Like, just because their body's developed, that doesn't mean like they have the fucking like maturity to like.
Which is why they do it, because they think, oh, this is all he wants.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just give it to him. Nah, that's crazy. Gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Women don't have to deal with that. They know like young groupies and shit.
Yeah, but 16-year-old girls shouldn't be acting like that.
Yeah. You think it's parenting? Maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, like, I feel like girls that has daddy issues or come from a broken home, like, they don't know how to, like, they don't know their self-worth, and they just think that they can just treat their body to get whatever they want.
Well, I feel like music and internet kind of promote that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and it's
these
fucked
girls
up.
Like OnlyFans or sugar daddies, and
yeah,
kind of like, use your girl. If you look good, use that shit.
Yeah, and if you have a really solid relationship with your parents and you can talk about a lot of things like openly and communicate, like, I feel like
that's hard in immigrant.
It is so hard. I think that's why I struggle. I was kind of like that girl, like those, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was lost. I was 16, 17, like, doing some fucking shady shit, like, like, yeah, and I was making some pretty fucking terrible decisions, like, that I look back now, I'm like, fuck, like, what the fuck was I thinking, like, I shouldn't have been there doing whatever the fuck I was doing. Oh, yeah, but that's why I'm like, I believe in God. I think God fucking protected me from, like, getting into, like worse, all types of trouble back then when I didn't know shit, but I thought I knew.
That's great. When I used to live in San Luis Obispo, there's not like a nightlife scene. They have bars or whatever, but a lot of the things they do for fun are go house parties. Oh. So I would go to like these house parties with like people, I'm not from there. So if my coworker invites me, I'm gonna go. But I remember I was walking into a house party and there was like these young kids outside. And I was like, damn, they look mad young, like middle school, maybe high school. And they were smoking crack. Like crack.
That's fucked.
Because they offered me it. They're all like, hey, you want to hit? And I was like, what is that? Because it was like, what do you, why does that look like the pipe? They're like, it's crack. And I was like, no, I don't want crack. What's wrong with you, man?
Oh my God.
And they couldn't have been, there's no way they were 18.
That's so sad.
No way.
See, like, that's so sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And in Hawaii, crack is like a thing.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so there is a sticker you might see around that's like a sticker of a rice cooker, and it says, cook rice, not ice.
Oh, shit. It's that bad that they make a joke about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
crack's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. Stay off of that shit.
And then drug is big in the music industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I was asking, is like if you smoke, because you're performing, I'm sure there's people smoking. It's California.
Yeah, and a lot of people are endorsed by like cannabis companies to like push their product and stuff. And, like for me, I just give it to my band.
Oh, okay.
So
that's what's up.
Yeah. And they appreciate that.
I mean, of course.
Yeah. But for me personally, I like to drink.
But not smoke.
Yeah. Smoking is just not really me.
Do you vape?
No.
People who fiend over the vapes, that's funny to me.
Yeah.
Where's my vape? Where's my vape?
They're addicted to nicotine. Yeah. But, like for me, like as a vocalist, I try not to do any smoking type of things. Because it can burn your throat.
What's your vice? Do you have a vice?
I say booze.
Booze? Okay.
I take a little shroom in here and there.
Oh, for real?
Microdose.
Dude, have you been to Lafayette?
Yes.
I went there with a friend, and he had other friends, of course, and this guy pulled out a bag of shrooms, and he started like, fucking candy for everybody. And he gave me one, and I was like,
have you ever tried it?
No, but even if I wanted to, it's not going to be with them. You know?
Yeah.
Like with strangers, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, he's like, take it. And then I pretended to like bite it, and I just put it in my pocket. I was like, no.
I feel that. I was actually not really into, like, I was kind of goody tissue for a while. Like, even though I was kind of wild girl, but like the drug thing I was always kind of scared of.
Yeah.
I think the weed thing just fucked me up. But I do like shrooms here and there, like micro dosing. It kind of does like help elevate your mood and tap into like the side that, you know, that you don't really tap into easily, because like you have to really like free your mind and kind of let go all the stress and anxiety to kind of tap into that like more like your inner, like, it sounds so cliche, but like I do think that it does help you get into that like frame of mind. I say just do a little bit. Like, I don't like it when you start like hallucinating. Oh, because that happened to me one time, and I'm just like, okay, I took too much. That was
just having horrible effects with drugs. They're just not for you.
I've done acid once.
Oh, how was that? That sounds crazy.
It was crazy. I probably would not do it again. Oh, yeah. I was like sitting in this like Malibu Valley, like in the canyon, probably like where it got burned recently, but it's so beautiful. Like, I legit thought the Mother Earth was like giving birth, and it was like sun was like I don't know if it was sun was setting, maybe the sun was setting or sun was rising or something. So I just saw it like the sun come up in the canyon,
and it looked like Earth was giving birth.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful experience.
That sounds insane.
Yeah, but then I went to the bathroom, and there was, you know, those like big ass, they're not mosquitoes.
Oh,
like
they look
long
like
daddy.
Yeah.
They were hanging out in the bathroom, and then my trip was not so fun after that. So
like, there's pterodactyls in here.
Yeah, I'm kind of a control freak to begin with, so I'm not like, I just take like, even with the mushrooms, like I just do very little to just give you that like little like body, like mind kind of little high, but I don't do it to the point where like you start like hallucinating or like, you know, things starts like you start seeing shit.
Yeah, nah.
I'm not into that. I like to have like control. Yeah. Like, I like to have control of my mind.
I was told that whatever mindset you're in going in is just gonna enhance that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll be nervous going into it, so then it's just gonna like
freak you out, paranoid. Yeah.
I don't need that in my life.
You don't need it, honestly.
I'm good with peace.
Exactly. And that's, you have inner peace, and I think that's way better than any drug ever.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm straight off that.
Yeah.
When's your next show? So, I posted your thing, but I honestly, when I'm working, I'm driving a lot.
Oh.
So I sometimes don't fully read what I'm saying. But you said, can you share this? And I did. But what was it? A competition?
Yeah, it was a wild card competition. So our band was selected to compete in it. It's a chance to win, to play at Cali Roots, and Cali Roots is one of the biggest reggae festival in California. And I went there last year, and it was so much fun. And there's like, I don't know, like 10,000 people that attend.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So it's like a big opportunity for bands like us, you know. So I think they picked about 40 bands, and they're picking 6.
Is it like,
it's a voting base.
I know, but is it like bracketed? Like, okay, that round's done. Those move on to this round. It's just overall. When is it over?
I have no idea. Oh, it's over. The voting ended on Friday.
Oh, okay.
But
you don't know if you were selected?
No, not yet.
Hopefully
I've been praying to God about it.
Yeah.
And, I already made my peace. Like, I legit thought to myself, like, from this experience, I felt like even if we don't win, I just felt like so much love and support from our community. And, like, there's so many people that would go out of their way to vote for us. Like, and, there was people that saying, like, I'm setting a daily reminder for it, blah, blah, blah. Like, so yeah, there's people like just going out of their way to like really help us out. And, just that experience alone was like I feel like a winner.
Yeah.
So
the fact that you were even nominated.
Yeah.
That's a dub. A win is a win.
Yeah. I mean, of course I want to win.
Right. Of course.
Of course.
But we want to be thankful we're in the game.
Exactly. Yeah. So, hey, like at least we're being recognized and we were selected.
Maybe next year,
Yeah.
Even higher in the rankings of being selected. So
yeah, I really,
it's definitely not a door closed if you didn't get in.
Exactly, and I really think that everything happens for a reason, and if we are ready for this gig and if we earned it, we'll be there.
Where's it at?
In Monterey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Monterey. If not, there's another opportunity waiting.
Okay. So when is your next performance?
May 23rd.
All right. Here in San Diego?
In Costa Mesa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nice. We're actually doing like an acoustic set, so it's a little different.
Oh, that's dope. I think you would be dope at?
Where?
Because I heard some of your songs, but you could be dope at like a tiny desk.
Ooh, yeah. I wanted to really enter, but I just couldn't like get enough like time and the band. But I wrote this song, like that gospel song.
Oh.
I wanted to do. It's called Soul Sickness, and I'll probably do it next year. And I'm just gonna plan it, like pre-plan the shit, so I can like get it done and submit it in March, because that's when dope. That's the submission. Tiny Desk submission is March. So
how many songs or albums do you have?
I think we have like
available at
10 songs.
10 songs? That's pretty good.
10, I think, yeah. Enough to make an album, but we just been dropping singles.
Right. I mean, the start.
Yeah.
One of those should hit.
Yeah.
And it may not hit immediately. Like, there was a local rapper who did a song, like, and it blew up. But like years after he released it.
Wow, really?
Because I went on his Instagram and the song, he dropped it like 3-4 years before it blew up.
What made it blew up?
I don't know. I didn't even know who he was until like it became a thing. I was like, he's from San Diego. Let me go look. And I was like, he did this song like 3 years ago. So
what's the artist's name?
So just because you've done a song and it doesn't mean it won't ever. Keep grinding. Right. Trust the process.
Yes. Hey, if you're in it for the love of music, and if you put love and your hard work and your heart forward, it'll do its thing.
Right. Be authentic.
Yeah.
Trust it.
Yes.
I appreciate you coming through. I ain't gonna keep you too long. And
yeah, thank you so much for having me, Jonah. That was cool. Really fun interview.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
If you don't mind, just tell the camera here where to find you, where to find your music and support.
Yes. So you can find our music all on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, on any of your favorite music streaming platforms. And if you want to have more of a direct connect to keep up with their shows, schedule and things like that, check us out on Instagram. We're most active on there, and that's Instagram handle is Doahs Daydream, DOAHS Daydream.
Yeah, I like it. That's a cool name too, though.
Yeah,
Doahs Daydream.
Thank you.
Because it's kind of like realistic to like anybody who does anything artistic. Yeah, it's a daydream. Hopefully, it becomes a reality.
Yes, that's exactly where it came from.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jonah. Thank you so much for having me.
Peace.
Yeah. You looking for me, you can find me at the spot. Chopping it up with Jonah. We talking about what's hot on the block. Up in Dago, man, we bumping. Keeping Keeping it confidential, you know this how we coming, we ain't front. Looking for that real, better tune in and stick by. Put on for the city every time that I dip by. Getting to that gritty every time that we sit down. Promise you it's real every time that I get round. Come on. Been in the field playing, we